right. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the listeners of Inspiring Educators. And again, this is your host, Brian. And this time, I'm very lucky to have another educator, okay? A proud Filipino educator. She was once a host of the MOOC that we've just finished, okay? TESOL methodology provided by the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. So without further ado, let's all welcome Miss Josephine Bagsic. Miss Bagsic, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Sir Brian. Good evening to all the listeners from all around the globe. I'm doing fine. I'm here at my house drinking coffee.
Oh, that's wonderful, ma'am. A perfect setup for our episode. Now,
Yeah.
let's get started with my very first question. So, me and my listeners are curious. Who is Miss Josephine Bagsic?
Oh, seems like Miss Bagsic is a big name, huh? So, I am Miss Josephine Bagsic. I am 23. I am a young educator starting in this field. I had been in this field for 2 years now, going three. And I am still happy and very much motivated and inspired to teach. I'm also a pageant enthusiast. I once joined pageants and won several titles from barangays to different provinces, titles like that. Um, when we say Josephine Bagsik, I think the word that could be partnered with my name is a motivator. It is really my goal and it is really in my heart to motivate people, especially my students. So I think that is Josephine Bagsik, the definition.
Wow. We're just getting started, but the ideas that Mam Bagsic is already giving is something that we're looking upon to. And actually, to all my listeners, if you could see how beautiful Miss Bagsic is, all right? So she's
Uh,
very beautiful, all right? So
Thank you, sir.
no worries with that, ma'am, because I would like them to see or visualize how beautiful this educator is. All right, so she's one of a kind, actually, guys. All right, now off to my second question, Miss Bagsik. Of all the professions that we have, all right, so why did you choose to become an educator? Can you share us your journey in becoming a teacher?
Oh, when I was younger, I always dreamed of becoming a soldier, and then I dreamt of being a nun, and then a journalist, and then after some years, when I look back to those notebooks that I had when I was in elementary, I found there a note written by my grade five self, just like that. When I grow up, I want to fight ignorance, and then it hits me like, oh, I think this is a reminder of what really is my passion and what is really my calling. So ever since I was a kid, even if I dreamed to be a soldier or a nun, and then suddenly there is this realization that maybe the country doesn't need another soldier anymore. Maybe the country doesn't need another nun anymore. I think the path that is being led to me or for me is to be an educator. So when I was in high school, about to graduate actually, I was about to take the UP examinations, what do you call that, the collegiate entrance examination, something like that. And then the the people or the person that was giving the sheets of papers for you to be able to take the exam because I was in the province during the time told me that the last day of filing was the day before I get there. So when I came to Manila, the only chance or the only school I was able to enter was the one near our home, and then there, the only course closest to my heart is education, and then I majored in English. That is why I am an educator now, and up until now, whenever I find it hard in this profession that I have chosen, I still look back to the time where I um, written those words to fight against ignorance. So maybe I am destined to be a soldier to fight against ignorance. So that is the journey why I am an educator now, sir.
Wow, that was really a very, a very interesting story, Miss Bagzik, because there was a young girl who dreamt of different professions when she grew up. But then, this very simple writing in your notebook that says you want to fight ignorance, that was the, I think that was really a calling that signaled you, all right? And then when you're about to take your collegiate exam or the entrance exam, and then suddenly, the opportunity didn't really go in within your path, and then, education is just calling you at the side, hey, come here. Yeah, I know this is the right profession for you, and look where you are now, Miss Bagsik. That was a really interesting journey, ma'am.
Yes, it was sometimes when I look at it, I was just laughing. Oh, maybe if I didn't find that notebook, maybe I'm not a teacher right now. Maybe I'm a journalist, or maybe I am a policewoman. I don't know. But since I found that notebook, oh well, this is really my passion. This is really my calling.
That was really great story, Miss Bexik. Thank you very much. Now, off to my third question, ma'am. So, we all knew that it's not only here in the Philippines that we had this pandemic situation. The whole world experienced it. Lots of people have been affected. And, because of this pandemic situation, negativity arised. But as an educator, okay, and as a person, okay, how did Mam Bagsic fought the negativity? How did you turn your day into a positive day, ma'am?
Ah, yes, sir. Actually, to be honest, I believe everybody is experiencing that moment when you wake up in the morning and then it feels like negativity is already around your room or your head. I don't know. But during this time, the first thing I do is first I pray. Um, I believe there is this strong power given or driven by praying and prayers that really turned the situation or the scenario from a negative one to the positive one. And then after praying, from the very beginning, even without the pandemic that we experience right now, I always look at the students. I always consider them. I always have this thinking that if the students will be looking at me haggard or not prepared or even sad, because I believe they can feel it. So if they could see a teacher that is sad or that is not excited to teach, I think they will be sharing that vibe, and they will also feel not excited to learn anymore. So I always look into my students. I always consider them, and I always remember that, oh, the purpose why I wake up today is to teach my students, and my students will probably learn the lesson or the academic thing that I will be teaching them, but it will not last forever. And if I will be optimistic for this day, I will be happy and excited teaching them. Well, maybe I can share them that vibe, and then they will be carrying it out through the day and maybe through the month, and they could be more optimistic and positive. So I always consider my students there.
Wow, that was really nice. Most of my guests here in Inspiring Educators, Miss Bagsik, always started with the prayer because we all knew, okay, not just because we are Catholic, whatever religion you may have, always start your day with a prayer. And believe me, okay, because lots of you has already shared it. Prayers would always make our day right. And then what I
Yeah.
love with your idea, Miss Bagsik, is that you always put your student at the center of your day. If that is my right interpretation, and that was really, really inspiring because they are the reason why we are here. They
Yes,
are the
totally,
reason.
sir.
They are the reason that we are, let's be realistic. They are the reason that we're having this, job. We're earning money because of them. And a very simple return that they wanted is, the learning, the good vibes, okay? The positivity that we could share. So I really love the way you transition your, a negative day into a positive one when you woke up. So that was really great, Miss Bagsik.
Thank you.
All right, and then we're off now to the final question for this episode. So, Again, me and my listeners would like to know, how does Mam Bagsic inspire her learners? What's her secret? What's with the what's the magic on how you make your students love the subject that you're teaching, ma'am?
Okay, so I am teaching for 2 years now, going three, and I had been teaching English for those in those years. And I believe when we say English for our young learners, it could be boring. They have this thinking that when it comes to learning English or the English subject, they always believe that it will be boring. The teacher will be always sad or will always be frowning in front of them. So I think the only thing or the thing that I did from the beginning up until now is to always believe in them, because if a teacher or an educator or somebody believes in the capability and the abilities of the student, it will reflect on how they treat the teacher. It will reflect on how they treat the subject, and then also it will also go deep into within themselves that, oh, this subject really showed me not only to learn the subject that Mam Bagsic is teaching me, but also this subject is an avenue for me to show whatever I have or whatever I got inside me or the talent that I have, and I will not be afraid to show it, because I know my teacher or Mam Bagsic will always believe in me and always believe in me. Okay, so I think that is one good way for me, so that I can inspire my students, because in reality, or when it comes to the classroom scenarios or classroom situations, students are not really motivated or not inspired all the time. And when they see that their teacher or somebody in the class believes in them, it gives them the strength, it gives them the fuel to ignite and then to spark and to shine in the class. So even if English is just one subject, I believe that the power of that believing in them could go beyond their subject, could go beyond school, it could inspire them in their life and to dream bigger, just because of one subject or one teacher. And that is when the influence of an educator or a teacher goes. It will go forever as long as the children live. If you inspired or motivated him or her, it will be with him through the rest of his life. That's it, sir.
Wow. All I can say right now, Mambagsik, is wow. That was really amazing. No, just to share with our international listeners, the last name of Miss Bagsik, okay, in our native language, it means that, she's, the word Bagsik is something that would be associated to uh, a terror teacher, a
Yes.
teacher who is, always I don't know, Miss Bagsik, if this will be right, but my idea was just, terror. She's always
Yeah.
tough. She wouldn't smile. But if you will listen to what just Mam Bagsik has mentioned, that idea of her last name would be very different, because by just listening to that wonderful thoughts that she shared, it you could imagine how wonderful she is inside and outside the classroom. So that was really inspiring, Mambagsik. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
I really, really love the positivity. Even if we're just, just talking right now here in Zoom, but then I could feel the positivity that you wanted to share, not just with my listeners, with the listeners around the globe, but with all the people that you have met along your journey in teaching. So that's really fantastic, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
And right now, ma'am, what I usually do before the end of my episode, I'm giving the podcast floor to my guests, okay, to, have some few or last thoughts that they would like to share, if they would like to invite, if you have anything that you would like to share, perhaps a website or, your personal blog, anything, so that you can promote it as well. So right now, Ma'am Bagsik, I'm giving you my podcast floor. Please go ahead, ma'am.
Um, Maybe I don't have a blog, sir, but I have this YouTube channel that I had been doing since forever, but I don't really focus on doing it. Maybe you could subscribe to my channel. The name is Josephine B. And also, I would like to remind everybody, all the listeners of this podcast, if you're an educator, always believe in your students because that will be a small thing, but a spark that could ignite the whole life of your learner. I would also like to grab this opportunity to thank you, Sir Brian, for inviting me in this podcast. I really felt like I am honored, and this is a great opportunity, and I am really blessed to be a part of this podcast. Thank you very much, sir. Continue inspiring people all around the globe. Thank you, sir.
You're most welcome, Miss Josephine Bagsic. All right, and because this is just a one-man team, but from the bottom of my heart, all right, from all the guests that I've invited, thank you very much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to interview another Filipino educator to inspire not just the educators but all the listeners, okay? Because who knows, there's a student who's listening, an engineer, anyone can listen to a podcast and be inspired by the educators from around the world. All right. So once again, Miss Bagsik, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
All right. So that was another episode where we have listened to a teacher who has been moved by her dreams. And right now, she's the one who's motivating, building up the future dreams of our learners. So once again, this is Brian, your host for Inspiring Educators, and I would be inviting you to my next episode. See you soon, guys.